guys, and welcome back to another CAS Creations video. So for this one, the inspiration for it came from a mod that I ended up just kind of stumbling upon. I like looking for different fantasy CC in The Sims, and I came across this really interesting mod pack, well, CC pack, and I really wanted to use it. So that's where the inspiration behind this came. It is a set of satyr CC items. And satyrs are half goat, half human people of myth. They're like kind of like forest creature nymph things with goat legs. And when I saw that and saw the really cool like mod it made to the legs and stuff, I was like, I have to make some woodland nymphs now in The Sims. I need to see how I can do that. So that is what we decided to do in this video. As you can see there, I just added the I think they're called digitigrade legs, I think. I don't really know. And yeah, you can see already some of the satyr coming in. The mod lets you do tons of cool stuff. You can create any kind of weirdly colored satyr that you want to. It's very expansive with its customization. And I wanted to make two of them because as I was creating this first one, I liked all of these darker tones I was doing with her, but then I was like, ooh, I wonder what it would be like to have a more like softly colored and cooler colored satyr. So I decided I would make a set of sisters. Can't really call them twins exactly, but... And as I was in the process of beginning to make them, I was hunting for just tons of CCs. You can see like those tattoos that are like gold and reflective, because I wanted to add more of that fantasy and like forest guardian sort of vibe to both of them. And I keep coming back to those hooves with both sisters just a ton. I really couldn't decide with those hooves at all. It was hard for me to pick a color that felt correct. I also kind of struggled with hair for both of them because I'm such a big fan of Max's Match CC. Obviously, that's not quite as easy to do with satyr fur and satyr legs. But for the most part, I'm such a big fan of Max's Match CC that it's always a little hard for me to find hairs that are more fantasy-based sometimes. I also was trying to find a hair that I felt made them more unique and more one with the forest, you know? So some of these hairs were nice, and you could see me stop on a few of them. I like them, they just didn't feel quite foresty enough. And part of that's because I've used a ton of these hairs in other creations and other playthroughs. I really need to get more hair CC actually. But for this first one I was going for more of an older sister sort of vibe. And that hair I just settled on. I was really happy with that hair because I've had that hair CC forever. I've had it for so long. But I've never really had a good use for it. I love it. It just looks a little odd on most of the Sims I make. So it was really nice to be able to use it on a fantasy sim and it really fit with her. And as you can see, the satyr mod includes the legs, the hooves, and it also comes with 2 sets of horns, I believe. I'm pretty sure those were from the satyr pack. It also adds in some face paint that I will be putting on the Sims, on both of them. Not at the beginning, but later. And it really, adds to the whole look of them, I think. There it is, yeah. So it gives them that cute, like, nose. So yeah, with her, I was trying to go with, like, just a mature sort of maternal figure, essentially. That was the vibe I was at least trying to get across. And her younger sister, as you'll see, will have a lot more of a youthful sort of vibe. At least that was the goal. The only regret I have with these two sisters, because I really like how they turned out, but the only thing I dislike about both of them is that I wish I had found better tops for them. I was just really struggling to find anything, like, any fantasy-esque tops. That was the best one I had, and I would have liked it more if I could have matched it maybe better with their fur color, or if I had been able to... What I really wish is the mod would have come with some sort of, like, hair top to, like, cover up that area in a way that would have looked more natural. I also wish I would have spent a longer amount of time looking for jewelry CC, because it would have been nice to have more jewelry on both of them. I feel like that would have added a little bit more to the whole guardian vibe. I kind of envisioned the two of them as, like, I don't know, maybe royalty within the satyr system that they live in. The satyr clan, I guess. So I wish I would have done a little bit more to make them just a little bit more regal. I kind of wish I would have found more decorated ears. I like the elf ears a lot, but I wish I would have had ones with a lot of rings and jewelry all over them. It took me forever to remember where the tail was, because the mod pack also includes a cute little tail. There it is. Honestly, the tail's probably one of my favorite parts. It just really, even though you barely see it in the back there, it just really adds a lot. Adds a lot to the fantasy element. Like, as I'm looking at her now, I wish I had found more, more like pearl jewelry for like her wrists and her neck, things that would have stuck out a little bit more. And I was trying to find something for her as an aspiration that was kind of like being a leader, and the best I could think of was being an intelligent sim. So I decided to make her a family-oriented sim who loves the outdoors, of course, and is very self-assured. Her sister will end up also having the Loves Outdoors trait, if I remember correctly, because Satyr Sisters. And when I was creating her sister, I wanted, even though they weren't twins, I wanted to use the genetics feature so I could try to make sure their faces were really similar and try to get more of that sister feel for them, especially because I was going to go with a lot softer colors for the sister. I was hoping keeping similarities in their faces would make them feel more like siblings. Because as you can see, I'm going for a much lighter skin tone with her. Her fur color is going to end up being much lighter. I don't think I stuck with that tan color. No, maybe I did. I don't think I did, though. At first, I wasn't totally sure what colors I was going for. I just knew I wanted to do something different, of course, than her sister. And I liked the idea of one having the gold metallic and one having silver metallic. But at first, I was just playing around, trying to figure out what colors could maybe fit with her better. Because I didn't want to just do, you know, dark brown again, right? And eventually, I settle on doing some like soft, dusty rose colors with her, and I really like that decision I ended up making. I think the hair is where I decide to do the sort of soft rose, like that, yeah, that dusty rose color, and that's where I decided that I had to change her fur color because it just wasn't really doing that vibe for me. Because originally I did want her to be cooler toned, and then with that rose color, I decided to go for a little bit more warm toned look. And I was trying to keep her very... I don't want to just use the word youthful, but that was kind of the goal. I wanted to make her look more innocent, more metaphorically like wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, you know? I wanted her to look like the sort of character who would want to make, kind of like, I think that with her I was going for sort of an Ariel vibe, like the Little Mermaid, you know, the sort of character who would want to leave her home potentially and go and explore things and wants to see things and is so curious and imaginative. I love that necklace CC that I'm using, and the entire time I was creating this sim, I was trying to figure out how to make that necklace work, because I love it, and I really wanted it to fit with her. I really like the decision that I made to put a nose ring. And I was really happy with the decision I made to put the nose ring on her, especially that, I don't actually know what it's called, but kind of like bull ring looking one. I just thought that really added to this. I mean, technically that would be more like a minotaur with the bull vibe, but I don't know, I really like what it added to how she looked. I don't know, they could technically be minotaurs, I guess, if you change the tail, I suppose. Minotaurs are typically not young women, but you know, although, wait, no, Minotaur has a bull head, doesn't it? So never mind. And again, with her, I was struggling with the whole shirt problem. Especially because none of these colors felt like they were working with her. I didn't want her to have the exact same shirt that her sister had. None of the color options that I had were very pink themed or pinkish. And I just don't have a lot of CC that works for this specific sort of sim. That's actually something that I just generally need more of, is more fantasy CC in general. Like, I love creating fantasy sims, so I'm trying to find more of that. I've been recently hunting down like more wings and stuff. I would love mods that gave more options with the legs like this, like making them digitigrade and, you know, offering the hoofs instead. I think that's really cool. I loved once I gave her that white tail, I was sort of like set with her. That's where I was kind of like, okay, the tail's great, and I like the idea of doing white and brown on her. And I kept going back to that dang necklace because I just wanted it to work so bad. I really liked it when it was white, but then it stuck out too much. But yeah, I loved the idea of going with the white and brown for some of her decorations because that matched her metallics and her jewelry better. And because she was the younger sister, I thought it was sort of just a fun play on her older sister to give her the larger horns. And like everything about her, her horns were lighter colored. I made her romantic. And as I said, loves the outdoors, and then very outgoing because I wanted her to have that youthful feel. And those are my Satyr twins. I hope you enjoyed seeing the creation of them, and I will link as much of the CC I used for them as I possibly can that I can find the links for. I will have the Satyr pack linked for sure. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!